Hi, welcome to Myers ASMR. How are you? Are you relaxed? Shake that stress off. Let go of that garbage. Let it all go, let it all go, let it all go. Hey, I gotta find the quote. There's nothing outside the limits of your creating. There's nothing outside the limits of your creating. Well, this creation is inside of my limits. It's just a little chicken cutlet snackety snack. Actually, we ordered from a place called Peri Peri, and they give you such a large portion of chicken that I usually have some left over. And it's super delicious, and this is the mild. And even the mild has some pepper on it. These are some leftover grapes from lunch that I didn't get to. So I'm just putting it together and eating it now. Their chicken is always perfectly cooked. You like my silk scarf? As my style gets old and my new growth comes in, I start to wear scarves. see nail polish is holding up good. Just if the spot wasn't too much. We have so much snacks at work, I have to be careful. Because if I eat snacks, then it messes with my appetite for dinner later. And I don't like to do that, so I really have to stop myself. You know. Willpower. That's right. This container is amazing. I cannot believe this tea is still very warm. It's almost the temperature that I put it in at. Let me see what time it is. I would say it has been in this container for about 13 hours. It's pretty incredible. Maybe the small opening has something to do with it. I was trying to see who's the maker, but there's no brand name on here. I mean, I was buying the Contigo brand for years, but this one works better than those. My only issue is this one is hard to clean. Even with a toothbrush, I have to get a small brush that has a long handle. Don't you just love tea with a splash of vinegar? Well, you know what time it is. This is the time in the video when we focus on getting better and better every day in every way. Yippee! With the help of this people skills book, because I believe people skills are some of the best skills a person could ever learn and develop. So this chapter is called Listening is More Than Merely Hearing. And this paragraph is called Attentive Silence. Attentive Silence. Through the years, I have returned again and again to these words of Eugene Herrickle that describe why silence can be such a powerful force for a person whose emotions are intense. The real meaning of suffering discloses itself only to him who has learned the art of compassion. Gradually, he will fall silent and in the end will sit there wordless for a long time, sunk deep in himself. And the strange thing is that this silence is not felt by the other person as indifference, as a desolate emptiness which disturbs rather than calms. It is as if this silence had more meaning than countless words could ever have. It is as if he were being drawn into a field of force from which fresh strength flows into him. He feels suffused with a strange confidence, and it may be that in these hours the resolve will be born to set out on the path that turns a wretched existence into a life of happiness. Silence can be a balm for sufferers. It is also important in moments of great joy. How beautiful are the silences of intimacy. Thomas Carlyle and Ralph Waldo Emerson sat together for hours one night in utter silence until one rose to go and said, "We've had a grand evening." I've had many experiences like that with my wife, Dot, when we sat quietly before a fire or gazed silently into each other's eyes, basking in each other's affection. As Halford Lukács says, this silence of love is not indifference. It is not merely poverty of something to say. It is a positive form of self-communication. Just as silence is needed to hear a watch ticking, so silence is the medium through which heartbeats are heard. More than half the people who take communication skills training with us are initially uncomfortable with silence. Even a few seconds pause in a conversation cause many of them to squirm. These people feel so ill at ease with silences that they have a strong inner compulsion to shatter the quiet with questions, advice, or any other sound that will end their discomfort by ending the silence. For these people, the focus of attention is not on the speaker, but rather on their own inner disquiet. They are like the character in Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, who said, "Let us try to converse calmly, since we are incapable of keeping silent." Fortunately, most people can increase their comfort with silence in a relatively short period of time. When people find out what to do in silence, they become far less uptight in the verbal lulls that are so important to vital communication. During the pauses, in an interaction, a good listener does the following: attends to the other. His body posture demonstrates that he is really there for the other person. Observes the other. He sees that the speaker's eyes, facial expression, posture, and gestures are all communicating. When you are not distracted by the other's words, you may hear his body language more clearly. Thinks about what the other is communicating. He ponders what the other has said. He wonders what the speaker is feeling. He considers the variety of responses he might make. Then he selects the one that he thinks will be most facilitative. When he is busy doing these things, the listener does not have time to become anxious about the silence. Some people are helped in their quest for comfort with silences by realizing that when the other person is conversing about a pressing need, the focus of attention is on him, not on the listener. If he does not want to talk further, that's his prerogative. Why should it bother a listener if the speaker doesn't want to continue the conversation? Many people believe that once a problem has been stated, it should be solved in one sitting. Human behavior simply isn't that neat and efficient. I'm just gonna put a check mark where to pick up and leave you with that nugget. Be comfortable with the silences. Yeah, you don't have to try to fill up every pause and break and lull in conversation with speaking. Sometimes it's good to just enjoy the silence. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, like and subscribe. Remember that there's nothing outside the limits of your creating. There's nothing outside the limits of your creating. Hey, donate to my cause. Catch me in the next video. And may you find lasting happiness. Yeah, you deserve lasting happiness.